I'll do another update on my video. Last report was on my health is I had the medicine I started in December and the side effects weren't too bad. And I found out in August that the medicine's working. In fact, it's even shrinking a little bit, the tumor. So very happy about that. Asked the oncologist, how long can I be on this medicine? And he said, well, he's had patients on it for 4 years. So it's looking pretty optimistic. I might get this thing done after all. So if I don't get too sick from the side effects. I am getting some with my feet and a little bit of diarrhea, but overall it's pretty good. So I'll give you an update on the Nomad. So here we go. As you've seen on the video, I got this 1200 horsepower engine from Borowski Racing Engines, and boy, learning a lot about the new technology. It's a 427 LS7, but it has no General Motors parts. This is all aftermarket, the whole engine. There's a few sensors and a couple of covers is what Ken at Borowski says is on there. It's got a helic screw supercharger on there, which is 2 screws like refrigeration compressors, and it boosts the air and gets a high horsepower, but yet it's got a computer that makes the engine run just like a new car engines are. The other thing that I didn't know about is this ports right here, these two, water in, water out. This is a coil underneath the supercharger. So to get even more horsepower, you chill water and cool that coil down, so when the air goes across it, it drops the temperature. Colder air means denser air, which means more oxygen. So when they did the test back in Chicago, they didn't have it hooked up to chilled water. It was 90 degrees. And so when you put the chilled water into it, it's going to even do more horsepower. Like, I need more, but anyway. Like Lyda, my wife, says, cancer ain't going to take me out. It'll probably be this car. So anyway. Anyway, I'll show you how I'm going to get the chilled water. What you do is you come off the cabin, the air conditioning in the cabin, and this is a chiller tank. It's a reservoir tank, and it'll go up underneath the wheel well, and I can't show it very well. It'll go up under here, up underneath. And then here's the pump. You have a high-powered pump, and there's what they call, well, the sun's not making me work very good here. It's called a plate and frame chiller. And it'll be taken off of, like I said, the cabin air conditioning, all set up so you can chill it. It doesn't affect the cabin AC. So there's that, and bring it around. Here's my Roadster Shop new chassis. I'll start at the front. It's full independent front suspension. It's got a heavy-duty rack on here, steering rack, and that had to be dropped. That was an option so that the supercharger would fit under the hood. I don't want to have anything popping up through the hood or for clearance. So there's that. And then went with the more deluxe coil spring shocks and coilovers, they call them. And the front and the back are the same. And this is a full independent rear suspension. And the third member hasn't come yet. It's rated for 1200 horsepower, and the axles are rated for 1200 horsepower. And it's quite a piece of engineering. Well, there's the sway bar in the back. Everything is just built to the max. So I've set up, I've got a, on the shaft of the engine coming out, I've got a laser, and I have to line it up because I've got to do my own, weld in the motor mounts. They're going to go in, and they recommended it that I do it so I can get it right where I want the engine. There's the motor mounts, and they'll be welded up along the side there. So I got a crane, one of those engine cranes, so I'm working by myself so I can get it all lined up. It can only be 3 degrees up and down deviation from the drive shaft going back. I've got to set that up. Here's the transmission, 6-speed manual. It has 1 through 4 like your normal 4-speed, and then 5 and 6 are both overdrive. So when on the car now, I've got it all right in real close to finish out the body, so it's going to be super smooth. And a couple of things that I had to change because of the engine is I put in the throttle here that was going to go through was going to be by cable. Well, no, these new engines work a lot better, so it's drive-by-wire, not a cable. So I had to get a pedal, a low car, to go on the Cadillac bracket that goes up in there. That's your, almost all your cars are this way now, the new one. And I've got the gaps looking pretty good here now, so I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'll do next is a guy who sold me these sanding blocks, which are just great. You can get into the crevices, and they form right in here so you can sand it. And I have another one here. For getting the shape up here, I can get the shape just perfect going along here. This is body work, I found, is a real challenge because I have a right side brain stronger than my left, and the left side's more for the artist, and boy, you have to get psyched up just to do this. So, but I can hardly wait to work on the frame and engine and all that. That's the part I really like. The other thing is, on my earlier videos, I showed you that I had 2 fuel fills. Well, this new engine, it runs 1,200 horsepower on premium 93 octane. And if you put racing fuel with lead and that, it actually can't get the horsepower, because with the ethanol, you can advance the timing and get more horsepower. Yeah, go figure. I mean, so I eliminated that, and I'll just have the one fuel fill here. The other thing right before, I'm going to work on doing all of this, get the chassis and everything put together and put it under the car, and then I'll finish the body work so I can get everything just tuned perfect, because it gets on the frame, it could be out just a hair, and I want to make sure all my seams and everything, all my fit is good. Then I'll spread. The guy who told me about the sanding blocks told me about this. It's a plastic filler, and it's better than the high build primer. He really recommends this, and then it sands easy. And then I'll put regular primer on and sand to get it super smooth. So I think that's just about it. Anyway, well, oh yeah, there's a couple more things. Everything, there's a scatter shield. That goes where it houses the clutch. Now the clutch, 1,200 horsepower, it has 2 discs in there. I had no idea about this stuff. It's just it's really fun learning all about it. So anyway, Lord willing, I'm doing good, and we'll have another video in the near future. Plan to put all the transmission and everything together here, and then stuff it under the car. So before I put it under the car, I'll make another video and probably run it too. So anyway, not down the road, just sitting here. Anyway, thanks for watching.